like that.
Okay. I'd give you a hug right now, but,
Okay.
all right, buddy.
Well, both the hard shell and the soft.
Never happened before in our 7 years of our high school, Paul, that we're going to start this week's show a little differently. Not with our high school weekly game of the week, instead with the day Gene Goldus spent at Hackensack High School leading up to the showdown.
If you kids come, just tell them I'm either in by the trainer's room or 171. Okay. Dominic, I think your guidance counselor wants me to talk to you later.
Yeah,
all right?
I'm getting two different men.
Okay. All right. And a couple other subjects, too. So, all right. What's up? Give me a Monday.
Monday?
Yeah. I'm too busy now.
You're the dean of students here. When do you have time to think about this game, or do you not at all?
No, I think about it. I think a whole lot, but I think today maybe it's better that I'm busy, because the idle time is, you know, you want anybody, the players, myself, want game time to get here. So by staying busy, you know, it's better. I haven't eaten lunch yet, but I'll find time to sneak something in and get things done.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where can I get a ticket for the game?
Mr. Church's office, room 184.
Down this
Down the hall, yeah, down the hallway here. You go make a left, and then it's the glass doors.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay. Ticket sales here have done real well. I know Mr. Church, our athletic director, first day he got a bunch. They sold out halfway through that morning. He sent a guy back up there. Before the guy even got back, he told him, call him on his cell phone, pick up more tickets because, you know, it's sold out. So I think the student body will be well represented. We're taking 2 buses up to the game.
It's going to be a
at the
all-out
school,
war.
so
I'm ready for it.
we're gonna.
I'm ready for that war. So, you know what I mean? We're for this for 5 weeks now. And
Is Beljour been over here yet?
Nah, he signed in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can you not wait for this game to get started?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Like I said, so far this year, I don't know if you've had that feeling like where your stomach is rumbling, and you know you got that nervousness, and if you're tense, and because I guess it's a big game. I mean, granted, if we win this game, you know, it could be huge. Shock a whole lot of people. I think it will take a lot of people by surprise. We're going in there thinking that's what we're going to do. Where some of the other games, you know, maybe not that we guarantee we were going to win, knew we were going to win, but we thought going in we were the better team, and if we performed to our level, we were going to win. This game, you don't know that. We could go in there, perform to our level, play a great game, still come out on the short end. But the other end, if we, you know, do play that way, maybe we can, you know, surprise a lot of people and shock them, and I'm confident in the kids I have that they can make plays.
Everybody seated? Okay, Saudi?
Yeah, right here.
Liliana? Iliana? Liliana?
Here.
Okay. Steve? Okay, Luis? Okay. Hey, it's going to be a good game. That's what it's about. It's going to be a good game. I'd be lying if I said I'm not thinking somewhat about the game or whatever. But, you know, I got to be professional, come in here, do my job, and then when I leave here, you know, everything, you know, turns up a notch. You know, but this still, to tell you, you know, am I nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. Before you even start the car, you got to make sure that your mirrors are all checked, all right, to make sure everything is functioning, working, all right.
Do you take any ribbing from the students or faculty?
Some of the kids, faculty get a kick out of it. You know, I mean, it's fun. You know, it's a fun kind of thing, but it's done in a nice way. You know, they got good kids here, and the kids, you know, they'll make a fun remark or they'll do something, but they're all good kids. You know what, it's all done in, and you know, in respect. I think especially the players, you could see there's a respect. There's a respect, you know, they understand what I'm doing, and there's respect for me because I understand what they're going through.
Hey, who's gonna win today? Who's gonna win today? Hey, coach, who's gonna win today?
Comments.
Who's gonna win today? Who you think?
One thing I do know about Coach Toll, he will have his team ready. They'll be ready to play. They'll be motivated, and you got to beat that team because I coached with him for 5 years, and that's the one thing he can do. He can get a team ready to play football and win football games. And telling our kids this week, you know, you got to do everything better than you did last week. Or if you're practicing as hard as you think you can, you got to practice harder. And that's the thing that people overlook about them because their offense is so high-powered, but their defense is good. They get the ball, you know, and even last year they got the ball back to them so quickly, so many times. Where we're hoping we can do some things, and with our line getting a little better, last year we had 4 sophomores, they were puppies, and we got exposed. Where maybe this year we can control the clock and something. And I'm hoping because then next week our game against you will be the biggest game.
That's it, get it off, Beljour. Get it and get it off. All right, regular punt, regular. Come on, no mistakes down here, no mistakes. That's it. It's going to be like a heavyweight fight. They're going to get their blows in. We're going to come back at ours.
Yep.
We're going to see who's standing at the end. No, but we're going out there and just give them everything we got.
Sitting waiting. Game. Everybody's tense, should be nervous. We're usually quiet on the bus going to the game.
It's a football game. Whoever blocks and tackles better is going to come out on top.
Sir.
You do what we taught you all year. The basics are going to win this thing.
Yeah.
Blocking, tackling, execution. You go out there, you do your job.
Do your job!
Get 11 guys doing their job on every play. Defensively, we're flying around to that football. 11 hats to the ball.
Soon after that, reality would set in when we come back, our High School Weekly Game of the Week recap.
Second down and about 17. Back to throw is Teal. He steps up, lets it fly. Wide open, Liverpool at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Don Bosco Prep.
At Hotels.com, we really know our way around hotels. We visit thousands of hotels to find you the best prices at the best places. Hotels.com. Best prices, best places, guaranteed.
Over 6,000 fans made their way to a rainy Ramsey, New Jersey last Friday night for a high school football game, but this was no ordinary game. It was our tri-state area high school weekly game of the week that pitted the number 2 Hackensack team against number 1 Don Bosco Prep, a team that came in riding a 17-game winning streak. Neither team had been challenged this year, but that would change Friday night as the Comets would have all they could handle and more at the hands of Greg Toll's Ironmen.
You practice harder than anybody, and you play harder, and let's get the hell out of here.
And play they did. Second play of their second series, quarterback Mike Teal, the perfectly executed screen to Brian Toll. The senior rambles 58 yards before he's tripped up, and 5 plays later, the Ironmen complete the 8-play, 95-yard drive.
Teal looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket, delivers end zone. Touchdown, Don Bosco Prep. Ryan Callahan on the reception.
Hackensack's next series would end with a Jean Beljour punt that traveled just 22 yards, and the Rutgers-bound quarterback worked his magic again.
Back to throw is Teal. He steps up, lets it fly. Wide open, Liverpool at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Don Bosco Prep.
And our run defense is some of the best defense in the state, and we knew that they were big and tough up front. We knew we had to throw the ball, open it up to let Brian get some rushing yards and get in some holes and stuff like that. But we knew we were going to have to come to the game and throw the ball, and we did.
While the offense was cranking at full throttle, so was the defense. Brian Callahan, the pressure, and Toll, the finish. He lived in the Hackensack backfield all night. And when he wasn't making tackles on D, he was making them on O. On Teal's one bad throw of the night, watch the 6'2", 228-pounder.
Oh, with a ferocious hit.
2 plays later, a more conventional route to the quarterback, this time, once again, all over a Comet player. And after another short punt, Toll put it in the end zone again, this time from 4 yards out for touchdown number 21 on the year as Bosco led 21-zip. late in the half. While Toll gets so much of the pub, there's other guys who can play D as well. Junior Jay McCahill, awesome.
Everyone keeps playing hard and plays their heart out anyway, even though we kind of know the game's over, but we got to keep playing hard.
And play hard they did. Toll, 11 tough yards up the gut to set up this beauty by Teal.
Teal steps up, goes end zone, throw it in the corner, and it is caught. Touchdown!
Today was a statement game today for me. Kind of had to prove myself a little bit again. I haven't had a great game yet, but I feel like today I came out and played with a lot more intensity and determination, and I did pretty well.
You sure did, my man. Early third quarter, the same two again. Liverpool on the crossing route. Teal puts it right there. Pickup of 20 to set up a 1st and goal from the 8. And guess what?
They're down and goal from the 8. Teal sets up the screen to Toll. Makes the catch at the 5 and takes it in. Touchdown, Don Bosco Prep.
And moments later, Toll would leave his final blueprint on his demolition.
Here's a low snap. Beljour in trouble. Knocked off the ball. Ball picked up and run in. Touchdown, Don Bosco.
Well, here we go again. Another High School Weekly MVP. And once again, it goes to not number 1, number 8. And he's wearing it because of his brother Mike, who played at Hackensack for your dad, Bry. Congratulations. Once again, how many is this now?
It's 4.
4. Again, just a two-way terror. When you step on the field, what goes through your mind now as your high school season's coming to a close?
That's what I think about my high school coming to a close. I mean, I've been out here since I was a freshman, and now every game's really starting to count, and I think about it no matter who we're playing. I mean, I was just so fired up to play Kennedy because that was one of my last games coming down the pike, and I was just so fired up for that. And then when Hackensack came on the field, I really had to turn it up, and I was so fired up for Hackensack. I mean, they're a great team, and I was just so fired up all week, and everyone's like, "Toll, you all right? You seem a little antsy today." I was like, "Yeah, you know, well, it's Hackensack," and everyone else knew too, and they picked it up as well.
Well, you think Brian was fired up, and for the record, Brian Toll is now the best high school football player overall that I've covered in 16 years. Big bounce-back game Friday night for Hackensack to take on number 2 St. Joe's. Poly is finally back on the field. St. Peter's Prep has outscored the opposition 324-0. Just insane. Toms River North up a few spots, and Freeport finally gave up some points as they beat Massapequa 21-6. More, check out the website, msgnetwork.com, and when we come back, more from around the Tri-State.
Anthony Atkinson roaming into secondary. Midfield.
Play action fake. Here comes the rush. Jennings throws, and this will be intercepted. Picked off by Robert Ewald. Going down the far sideline, breaking tackle after tackle, and stopped at the 20.
He's a local kid made good.
It's always easy in New York.
He talks to the biggest names.
He is David Wells, Bob Costas, Mike Piazza.
But he's still just one of the guys.
I think all Jet fans are worried right now.
The Boomer Esiason Show. Fridays at 11 only on M.
Steeped in tradition. It's the heart of every weekend, and it may be habit forming.
Love this game, love this game.
Sunday Night Football. When you love it this much, nothing else matters. ESPN Sunday Night Football. Sundays at 8:30. All season long on ESPN.
To advertise on ESPN Sunday Night Football, call Cablevision Advertising today.
You need office furniture?
Come to Stanford Wrecking Office Furniture Outlet. Our 50,000 square foot showroom has hundreds of new and like-new workstations to choose from. Thousands of desks, chairs, file cabinets, conference tables, and bookcases. So if you're furnishing a home office or Fortune 500 company, head over to Stanford Wrecking Office Furniture Outlet for a great selection of office furniture at incredible prices. Stanford Wrecking Office Furniture Outlet. See the difference.
Times every single day for just $4.65 a week.
I need to understand what's affecting our investments.
And what's happening on the web.
Off. Call
Thursdays.
a big game this February in Houston. 10 first prize winners receive a cool prize pack, including New York Giants Monopoly. So pick up the Daily News and watch UR Thursdays to win. Enter today.
Joyner is the fullback. Atkinson out to the left. He looked and throw it out to Gomes. Touchdown. Get down. Right back to throw on a pattern into the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhound.
In Connecticut, big night for Naugatuck High School, as you saw and heard, courtesy of Telemedia's Ed Clemens. Elsewhere around Connecticut, our number 5 Staples team taking on Darien and wasting very little time. After a Jimmy Hughes interception, sophomore quarterback DJ Stefkovich, the quick hitter to Matt Samela, and gets a crushing block. 45-yard touchdown, and the Wreckers were up 7-0. Moments later, they're back in the end zone. Matt Cook with the block, and then the recovery for number 17. It's 14-zip Staples after the first quarter. Second quarter, after Darien had scored a touchdown, Kempton Cody goes in from 3 yards out, 21-7, and later used one of his 2 touchdowns as the Westport School rolled, 38-7. Big one Friday night up in the Valley. Shelton's Joe Zarnecki taking on unbeaten Amity. The senior ran for 122 yards, and there's the game-winning touchdown in the 12-7 victory over the Spartans. Ansonia goes to 6-0. Darnell Cooks, 112 yards and a touchdown as the Chargers beat Walcott 48-0. White Plains produced its first unbeaten regular season in 10 years as the Tigers ripped Roosevelt 40-13. And what a day for 6'1", 220-pound senior Spencer Ridenour. The Penn State bounder ran for a career-high 5 touchdowns and 240 yards on 27 carries. We will stay in Westchester County for some more stuff. Yorktown and Fox Lane. Up there in Rockland County, Yorktown, the upset victory last week over Nyack, but Phil Bird and Fox Lane took care of that. There, the touchdown run. A little later, Bird going to drop into coverage. 32's going to grab it, and he's going to bring it back 31 yards for the touchdown as Fox Lane beats Yorktown by 20. Panis and Rye, first quarter, Panis gets on the board against Rye. Kyle Pierce, Billy Hanovitz, 13-yard touchdown. Good grab, 7-0 Panis. Second quarter, Rye gets even. Will Donahue, up and over, 7-7, and it was Rye off to that. Late in the half, Eddie Urso continued his real good year, taking the pitch, scooting 25 yards to the end zone. Garnett's improved to 7-0 with the 35-13 win. Tuckahoe, a real good Class D school, taking on Rhinebeck, and this was the Dominic Santiago show. Here, gonna bust right up the middle. Here's number 21 with those jacked up shoulder pads coming right at you. 165 yards and 4 touchdowns. Here's another one pulling in from short yardage as Tuckahoe won it 42-7. Wild finish of the weekend took place out in Nassau County as Roosevelt overcame 5 Stephen Pizer touchdowns for Cold Spring Harbor and scored 22 points in a 2-minute and 30-second span late in the game to win by 11 from Nassau. Out we go to Suffolk County. Smithtown trailing Connecticut 6-0. Walter Schroeder's guys come back in a hurry. Nick DeGangi, 68 yards up the gut, and the little man going to race some big guys to the end zone. 21 straight points in the second quarter. Time running out in the half. They get back in it, Connecticut does. Quarterback Zach Shaggy, 10 yards to Alex St. Nicholas. And here's the big play in the third quarter. Tim McManus going to dart through, bounce it to the outside, and have just enough to get in the end zone. Postseason dreams still alive for Smithtown as they win it by 6. And as we head to break, a big High School Weekly thank you to Gail Dunaire, a band parent from Old Bridge High School in New Jersey, who helped out our cameraman Mike Miner in a tough spot a couple of weeks ago. So it's the Old Bridge Band that will take us to commercial at the end of segment 3. Keyport's Kenny Cattouse did over the weekend in the victory over Freehold Borough. Here's Gene Golden.
Mike, it was a historic day at Freehold Borough High School on Saturday afternoon. New Jersey now has a new all-time rushing leader, and it's Keyport's Kenny Cattouse. He needed 106 yards to break the mark of Zach Irvin of South River High School, who held it at 5,442 yards. Well, Cattouse did it in the fourth quarter. So let's get to the highlights of this Keyport win and the monumental day for Kenny Cattouse. It was Cattous's very talented teammate, J.J. Beadle, who made the first impact play of the game on the opening kickoff. He fields it at the 10 and shows why some major Division I schools like Michigan State, Colorado, Syracuse, and Rutgers are on his tail. He goes 90 yards to give Keyport the 7-0 lead. Red Raider Shahibi Singh had a huge day on special teams. The 6'2", 180-pounder blocked 3 punts, including this one in the first quarter. He recovers the ball at the Freehold 26. On the ensuing drive, Cattouse grinded out 16 yards, including this tough 8-yarder. He capped it off with a 1-yard touchdown run. Keyport led 14-0. Cattouse only had 35 yards on the ground the first half. He needed 71 in the second half for the record. He got 24 of those on this touchdown run midway through the third quarter. He dives into the end zone to make it 21-0. Cattouse had 77 yards up till that point. But Beadle wouldn't let his teammate have all the fun. On the last play of the third quarter, he takes the pitch, looks like he's in trouble, makes a couple maneuvers, and then puts on a burst of speed. The 5'10", 180-pounder scores on a 31-yard touchdown run. And the moment everyone came to see happened with 9:16 left in the fourth quarter. A 7-yard run by Cattouse gives him 111 yards on the day. He finished with 115. They stopped the game. Head coach Mike Cicatelli handed him the record-breaking ball. And there's Kenny Cattouse, New Jersey's all-time leading rusher.
The feeling was like overwhelming, you know. It's like a dream come true when you're a little kid, you know, like running the football, you know. It's just like you don't think you're going to be the #1 rusher in the state, so, you know, I just give a lot of credit to my teammates. They helped me out a lot through the season, so hopefully I can keep going.
It's a great thing. We've been on the same team for 4 years. You know, we both played as freshmen, and coming into high school, that was something he was looking forward to, so it's real good that he accomplished it today.
From one record breaker to another, as Pope John was running away from Jefferson High School, Jason Harper was running himself right into the record books, and this is what he did. The junior, after Jefferson had scored first, whose first carry went for -2 yards, after that went wild. His next 21 carries, awesome. 6 first-half touchdowns, a run of 6, 20, 87, 15, 48, and 25. His 7th touchdown came early in the third quarter. It was his final carry of his record-breaking day for the junior. 477 yards, the second best ever single-game performance in the Garden State, as his team was going on to beat Jefferson, running away 57-22. Delaware Valley is now 5-0 on the season after beating Voorhees, and next week could win a division title if they get by Hackettstown. And if quarterback Ricky Kurtz plays half as well next week as he did last week, it's a pretty good chance they'll win the game. The 6'1", 175-pounder who holds all the school passing records threw for 33 of 38 for 384 yards and 4 touchdowns. The All-State Group 2 righty is now getting some looks for some 1AA programs. Elsewhere around the state, our number 10 Toms River North team against Manalapan. Second quarter, Brad Osborne, who had a big day for North, 133 yards and a touchdown, gets it deep into Manalapan territory. For 2 plays later, Joe Rankin going to hit Charlie Henry on the little swing pass. 10-yard touchdown, 21-0. They make it hold up in the 9-point victory. Down in South Jersey, Notre Dame and Trenton. First quarter, Notre Dame goes up 7-0. Tyquan Underwood to Rich Gunnell. 7-yard touchdown to cap an 8-play, 79-yard drive. Underwood would hurt his hand later in the quarter. His backup, Joe Giaquinto, came in, did find 36 straight conference wins for ND. Up in Hudson County, Bayonne and Dickinson. Good-looking junior, Jerome Hayes. Around the corner, touchdown number 13 on the year for number 27. That's 11 yards, and the Bees were up 14-0. Second quarter, Darrell Williams. He makes it 22-0 with his 7th touchdown of the year. The Bees defense pitches a shutout. Stay in the county where North Bergen's Mike Rodriguez had himself a night against Union Hill. 102 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Also caught a touchdown pass in the 19-6 win. In Middlesex County, Spotswood came in unbeaten against New Brunswick. They lead with a loss thanks to Andre Dixon from New Brunswick. Pretty good-looking junior running back, 63 yards, had 150 yards on the night and 2 touchdowns. New Brunswick stays perfect. Up in Morris County, Dover, Morris Hills. Dover's Jason Body, 87 yards on the ground, 4-yard touchdown, gives Dover a 13-7 lead. Dover quarterback Ronnie Moore. Check this out. Going to put that ball in his right hand, make a couple jitterbug moves in the end zone. Dover beats Morris Hills 19-7. Butler, Montville. Montville quarterback Ross Tanner, 132 yards, 12-yard touchdown, and the defense pitches their 5th shutout of the year. Richfield Park, Cliffside Park loves plays like this. When the big fella, Terry Stanford, going to pick it up, and 78 is chugging 42 yards the other way as Ridgefield Park wins it 49-7. Ridgefield High School's now won 2 in a row. Quarterback Paul Deladonna. To our guy, Chris Warrior, our defensive player of the week last week, 264 yards for Deladonna as Ridgefield wins their 2nd in a row, 35-6. Time now for the Jets and Giants to name their high school football coaches of the week, and the programs of the 2 head coaches will receive a $1,000 donation from the National Football League.
Your heart, your desire, your determination.
The Jets have selected Shelton High School's Joe Bonanto. In his 10th year, his Gales won 12-7 Friday night to drop Amity from the ranks of the unbeaten while improving to 5-1. In the year 2000, Coach led his Valley School to a state title. The Giants winner is named in memory of legendary Union coach Lou Rotino, and this week goes to an old friend. Kennedy High School's Jerry Horowitz, back after a 2-year hiatus, and in his 21st year at the Bronx School, his Knights are now on a 5-game winning streak. Career victory number 164 came in their victory over neighborhood rival Lehman High School. When we're back, it's our Downtown Athletic Club Heisman Tri-State Football Players of the Week.
I am so hungover.
And you've got to be at work in an hour.
How come you feel so good? You drank more than I did.
I took Chaser, remember?
Chaser?
Chaser Caplets. You take them right after you start drinking, and you're guaranteed never to get a hangover.
Chaser is clinically proven, safe, and effective. It absorbs hangover-causing toxins like a sponge, so you can wake up feeling alert and energetic, not hungover.
Looks like you should have taken Chaser, too.
Buy Chaser today at GNC, Walgreens, and these other fine stores.
Time once again for our Downtown Athletic Club Heisman Tri-State Players of the Week. Each week, one young man is chosen from each side of the ball, and all winners will get to hang out with this year's Heisman Trophy winner on the morning of December 15th in New York City. We have 2 offensive players this week, and you've seen them both in the show. Junior running back Jason Harper had an unbelievable game the first-year running back did against Jefferson, 5'11", 182 pounds. The stats, the highlights, enough said. Second offensive player of the week, Mike Teal, threw it as well as I've ever seen the Rutgers bounder throw it the other night in the victory against Hackensack High School. 4 touchdown passes, 14 now on the year. Defensively, what a game Anthony Malello from Blair Academy had in the big victory against Lawrenceville High School. A 6'3", 220-pound senior defensive end had a career-high 4 sacks, blocked a punt, and recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown, handing Lawrenceville their first loss of the year. Oh, by the way, he averages 48.2 yards per punt. Unbelievable. Pretty good game of the week this Sunday morning. Note the new start time, 7:30 a.m. on MSG, Booton, Mountain Lakes. Well, that'll do it for High School Weekly. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody, and we'll see you again next week right here. And a programming note, we will have Nick Lagakis on the show next week. Time Warner Cable had this week off. Big Nick back next week. See you, everybody.
This is Alex Kovalev of the New York Rangers. Actually, this is Alex Kovalev. Alex? Don't miss Alex and the rest of the Rangers. Season and partial plan tickets are still available, but like Alex, they're going fast.
When you walk on that field, and you'll play like champions.
We're coming here from Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, California, some 20 miles northeast of San Francisco. It's the Juicy Fruit High School Football Classic. The De La Salle High Spartans of Concord, California, the nation's top-ranked team, against Evangel Christian Academy from Shreveport, Louisiana. Hello and welcome. Glad you join us here on ESPN2. Dave Ryan, Rod Gilmore. Thoughts from Rob Stone in a moment. It's amazing to think, Rob, about this win streak. 144 games. Last time they lost, De La Salle, was sometime in December of '91 when George Bush Sr. was the president in office. This team is in the midst of a 12th consecutive undefeated season. Are they the best ever team is the question.
Well, I think they're the best team in high school football right now. I mean, think about this. 3 national titles in a row, going for their 4th this year. Outstanding team, but there are some non-believers. They say, hey, they haven't played anyone outside of California except St. Louis and Hawaii. They haven't played Florida, not Ohio, not Texas. How can they be the best? Well, I'm not sure that's the case. But this streak, 144, are you kidding me? Let's, think about what we've seen in streaks. UCLA Bruins basketball, 88 games in a row under John Wooden. Oklahoma football, 47 games in a row. Now we're talking about 144 for a high school football team. That's outstanding. Yeah, I think they're the best in the country right now.
Incredible. And amazing numbers, too, of the Vanderbilt Christian Academy out of Shreveport, Louisiana. They started high school football, right, in 1989. And since then, they've won 8 state championships in different classes. They played games at the Superdome in New Orleans in front of 40,000. They've won 2 straight state champions as well in the state of Louisiana. But they've had a lot of controversy off the field. Much more on that. Let's head to the studio now and Reese Davis.
Get ready, okay? All right, okay, Dave, and you are indeed right. Evangel has endured some controversy. Trev Alberts and Mark May with me. We will hear from them in just a moment. Evangel Christian Academy is the educational arm of the First Assembly of God Church. Didn't even have a football team, as Dave mentioned, as recently as 15 years ago. The since school chancellor, Denny Duran, started the program at the tiny school of about 300 high school students. Evangel has transformed into a high school football behemoth in Louisiana, the 8th state title, national title in '99. Evangel attracts top athletes from the Shreveport area and beyond. Clouds of controversy and allegations have hovered over Evangel for nearly 3 years. Head coach Dennis Dunn remains a defendant in a civil suit which accuses him of having a year-long sexual relationship with a girl, a minor, who was a student at Evangel at the time. As a result, Dunn did not coach the 2001 season. Authorities in Texas and Louisiana dropped all criminal charges against Dunn last year, citing a lack of evidence. Dunn reassumed his head coaching position. This offseason, it was not sexual allegations, but religious differences that sparked the latest flare-up. Evangel Chancellor Denny Duran, who's also the offensive coordinator on the football team, fired noted quarterback guru Johnny Booty before this season over what was termed a ministry matter. Apparently, the two had a philosophical dispute over a Bible study organized by Booty. Booty coached the team to a state title during Dunn's 2001 absence. His son is the highly touted quarterback John David Booty, who was to have played in this game tonight. But after his father was fired from Evangel, John David, who already had enough credits to finish high school, enrolled at Southern California and is now the Trojans' top backup quarterback. We're going to talk a little bit more about this entire dynamic in high school football at halftime. But, Mark, on the field right now, the absence of John David Booty, who Evangel thought they would have this year, tremendous impact tonight?
Oh, it's a huge impact tonight. You've got a quarterback that's thrown for over 8,400 yards and 88 touchdowns and still had a year of eligibility left to play in high school football. Now, this teenager is the backup quarterback for the 4th-ranked USC Trojans. That's how good he is. If he was playing tonight, Evangel would most likely be 6-0 rather than 4-2 coming into this game.
Now, we've got a team from Louisiana making the trip to play a team from California. This is just like the way you guys used to do it in Iowa, right?
I just can't imagine how different high school football is today than it was back when I played, 1989. I remember 1999 playing for the NU High Little Panthers in Cedar Falls, Iowa. My high school football coach was Denny Kettner. He's also my math teacher. We played away trips. He was the bus driver. He went down Highway 20 in the blacktop through a little bit of cornfields, get to Ackley, take on the Ackley Geneva Raiders. Come on, I mean, that's high school football, right? We don't have teams going from one state to the other. I mean, it's unbelievable. The purest form of football is high school football.
You weren't even the Panthers.
Well, we'll enjoy a little high school football coming up tonight. We'll also have our high school showcase game of the week, which is from the state of Florida as well. Maybe a little bit of bragging rights going on that Rod Gilmore mentioned in the open. But right now, we're ready for the longest winning streak in high school football, taking on Evangel.
144 games and counting, that is the question. We are ready to go. De La Salle, the Spartans in the home greens, will kick off. Jonathan Gio will handle the duties in high school football. A kick from the 40-yard line. Jacob Hester, 13 in the white jersey, a star running back. They call him a freight train. It's back deep with Dietrich James over the head of Hester. That will be a touchback. And that means Evangel with their junior quarterback, Denny Duran, who has moved from receiver when, as Reese mentioned, John David Booty left the program prior to his senior season. He moved on to USC where he's the backup. Duran, great arm strength, also a baseball shortstop and a Division I baseball prospect. You'll see him display that strong arm rod out of a deep shotgun, which can be as deep as 9 yards.
Yeah.
Spread offense here, no huddle. Hester is the man in motion. He's got a catch, and he's buried right away by Terrence Kelly. Dan Duran relying heavily upon star running back Jacob Hester, bound for the University of Texas next fall. A converted linebacker has become the school's all-time leading rusher. And Connor Campbell just had that catch, another Division I prospect as well. Loss of 4, and look how deep Duran is. And said it's a quick snap right to Hester, the star running back. He gets a couple yards, and that's about all. The offensive line for Evangel is absolutely mammoth. Doug Stroud blocks out the sun, folks, literally at 6'7", 325 pounds. They call him D1 Doug because he's a Division I prospect. He's also a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oops, don't mess with him. Yeah.
Not someone you want to mess with. Hester is the man in motion. Deep snap again. Denny Duran, the junior quarterback, fires, and that is incomplete. As he looks there for Parker on the far side. Good coverage from Willie Glasper, 15 in the green jersey, and right away, Evangel Christian's got a punt.
You know, Dave, you mentioned the deep shotgun that they use offensively. It'll bear watching throughout the night to see if they can actually, De La Salle, that is, get pressure on him, because he's about 12 yards deep after he gets the shotgun snap.
Jared Jennings is the punter. He stands back inside his 5. Release at about the 7. Left foot handles all the kicking duties. Cameron Colvin lost the ball. You cannot advance a muff. You won't be able to advance that, folks, for a touchdown. But Cameron Colvin, the star wide receiver, lost the handle, and Evangel Christian's going to get it right back at that spot.
And, Dave, he was very tentative from the start. And Colvin didn't move up right away on the ball. It was dying right off the bat, right off the foot. You could tell that. But he hesitated coming up.
Disregard the flag. The ball was touched by the receiving team. White has recovered. First down at the spot of recovery.
There's Dale Newhouse, our referee. 33-yard punt from Jennings, and a great break for Evangel Christian. Another look here, Ron.
Well, you see the very end of it there, the ball getting loose. Colvin hesitating to come up on that punt, and he should have just moved away from it after he hesitated. It's tough.
Senior linebacker Reagan Burns picked that ball up. Wanted to scoot to pay dirt, but he cannot advance him up. Quick handoff. It's again Hester. 235 pounds of him. He is eventually brought down after a gain of about 5 yards. The South defense. This is a small D line, folks. They average about 220 pounds. And both guys up front in Velo and Fujimoto will go both ways. Evangel does not run players both ways. Quick shovel is completely smothered to Hester. Absolutely nothing doing. Linebacking core, Stroud, Kelly, and Hanks. There's Bob Latisseur telling us that Kelly and Hanks have been the keys, real staples to the defense all year long. Movement on the line. We'll see from our fine officiating crew here who the guilty party is.
I think they're going to get Chris Biller on the right side jumping just a little bit soon.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. Still third down.
Secondary has some speed. Colvin back for a second game after the academic suspension cost him 5 to start the season. Willie Glasper, another fine two-way player, very good cover corner. Saw Cameron Colvin, the top prospect in this game, off the punt early.
Check out the shotgun formation. It's a punt formation.
Just about. 9+ yards. We told you about Duran's arm there. He's got it to Parker. Nice play. That's inside the 20-yard line of the 19 of Dave.